What is going on, guys? It is Joe, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Breakfast Club. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. The Breakfast Club is a series on my channel in which I superset between full day of eating vlogs, workout videos, fitness-related content, and then many Q&As that we call the Breakfast Club. We call it the Breakfast Club because I sit here, eat breakfast while you eat breakfast as well, and we do a little Q&A left in the comment section down below, or DM to me on Instagram at Joseph_Garcia17. It has been known to me that people have seen me eat French toast, but they don't know how to make French toast. And I forget that this isn't common knowledge, that people actually don't know how to make the anabolic French toast. So for today on Breakfast Club, before we answer any questions, we are making some anabolic French toast. I made this on the channel before, but it was like a blueberry whipped cream version. This is just the bone dry version of French toast that you can go then and top off with any toppings that your little heart desires. So without further ado, let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. But first, before we make anabolic French toast, we need to get the proper attire on. Hang on one second. Okay, I think we are now ready to crank out some French toast. Let's do this. Okay, now for this recipe, there are a couple of things that you're absolutely going to need. So let's get right into this Krabby Patty formula. You're going to need as the base egg whites. I'm using just a carton of regular ass egg whites. You can separate it from the yolk of a regular egg. Do what you want. The reason why I use egg whites and not a whole egg is because I want it a little lower calorie, a little higher in protein. So egg whites is a necessity. Then you're going to need some cinnamon and some vanilla extract, as well as your sweetener of choice. I'm using Splenda. Try and use a 0 calorie or low calorie sweeteners. Avoid using sugar to save yourself on some cows, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, of course, you need yourself a nice loaf of bread. I'm using Wonder regular ass white bread because it doesn't matter if you have white bread, wheat bread, oat bread, sourdough bread, potato bread, whatever bread you want. Personally, Wonder is my favorite. Something about this bread that just really soaks up those egg whites and makes it nice and floofy. It's pretty simple. All you're gonna do is pretty much just take these ingredients, dump them into a mixing bowl, and there is the secret Krabby Patty formula sauce, my friends. Before my original recipe, I used just a cup of egg whites. I have now graduated to a full miniature carton, which is now 2 cups of egg whites. I basically have a carton of egg whites a day, the miniature one, of course. This right here is 2 cups, 50 grams of protein right here in the actual cup. Going in with some cinnamon now, just a couple Bad Girl Spanks right in there. Doesn't matter, do it to taste basically. Vanilla extract, you want to use around maybe a teaspoon to a tablespoon's worth. I kind of just eyeball it at this point and just pour a little bit right in there. And then last but not least, we are doing some Splenda. I'm using 5 packets. You can use 1, you can use 2, you can use 3, you can use 4, you can use 5. Just use it to taste. I like my French toast a bit sweet, so that is why I'm using 5. And then last but not least, of course, you're gonna need yourself a little bit of a mixing agent. Good thing I got mine right here. And then give this guy just a nice little stir. Once that is all mixed up, we go ahead and then start cooking. Okay, so next is the actual cooking process. Personally, I have here a 22-inch griddle right here. This is my favorite thing to cook my actual French toast on because it's a surface, it's flat, the bread just cooks evenly all the way through. You can, however, cook it on the skillet, on the stove, whichever you prefer. If you have the funds to go ahead and get one of these, I highly recommend it to cook your French toast. I use this thing every single day. It's my absolute favorite way to cook French toast and French toast pancakes as well. The actual cooking temperature and time, I have it on about a low to medium heat. The slower and longer you cook the French toast, the more floofy and just tastier it gets. I'll be honest, slow and long is something that I'm completely new to, but with this French toast, I think I got it down. Now, before you go ahead and put the French toast on the actual pan, you want to spray it with a little bit of non-stick. I have a little bit of Pam butter flavor right here, and just about a 1-second spray. Boom. Now, this is where the toppings come into play. I personally love me some frozen blueberries on the actual pan itself. I have done other berries and other variations of fruits to actually cook the bread into. Frozen blueberries, in my opinion, work the best. Once you have that settled, you pretty much just take your bread, give it a little dunkarooski, give it a nice flip, let that bread soak in those egg whites. You want to make it nice and thick, and the more egg whites that go into the bread, the more anabolic it actually is. Now, I find that with the amount of egg whites I use and the type of bread that I have, 5 slices of French toast seems to be the ideal number of slices per serving. And as you can see, at the end of those 5 slices, there is a little bit of that secret sauce left in there. For that, I just kind of glaze over the slices of toast that are on the actual griddle. And boom, that's pretty much it. You know, we go ahead and wait now anywhere between 4 to 6 minutes per side. Give it a little flipperooski, and there you go. Alrighty, and here we are with the French toast. Next, we're gonna go ahead and just dabble some syrup all over this fat stack. That's with the PH, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Let's go ahead and give this a little bit of a taste test. Now that you guys know how to make French toast, for those of you that didn't know how to make French toast, I expect you to make this every day. I'm telling you, this French toast recipe right here is an absolute game changer. It's going to change your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer a question. This question comes from HD Phew. Hey bro, I'm currently at 79 kilograms or 172 pounds right now, thinking I should cut down to around 75 kilos or 165 pounds and maintain from there, but you said you were 167 on stage, which is 72 kilograms. How tall are you? I am 189 centimeters and I have decent lean mass. Okay, this guy has to be from like the UK or somewhere else, not in the United States, because I have no idea. I mean, kilograms I understand, but like centimeters to inches, ugh. You know, around 2,300 calories right now, doing around 25 kilometers of jogging. Don't even know what the kilometers to miles is. A week and 4 strength sessions. Got any tips? Have to be decently lean, but nothing too crazy. Would love to hear if I should up my calories or lower them. Thanks in advance. Okay. Whew. First of all, let me look up 189 centimeters to like how much feet that is. 189 cm in feet. Oh, you're like 6'2" right now. Holy shit. Okay. And you are around 172 pounds. Okay. So personally, when I did my height check-in for my show, I was 5'11 and a quarter. Now, usually I go to the doctors, I'm 5'11 and 3/4, but when you get really lean, the fat in between the actual joints of your body compresses, so you actually do shrink a little bit. This question is a little tricky. You are a little taller, but again, I don't know how much lean muscle tissue you have. I don't know what your body composition is at, because currently right now, I'm waking up between like high 160s and low 170s for my overall weight, and I feel really, really good right now. I actually have a lot more energy. I feel great. Anytime I'm really down below the 165 range is where I feel like absolute poo-poo caca. Again, it's different for everybody in terms of like their overall body fat. My recommendation is that if you want to get a little bit leaner, get a little bit leaner, but go so at a rate losing no more than 1% of your overall weight per week. That would be my tip number one if you want to continue losing some weight. Pace that you should go at. My recommendation is never to really start taking away food. I personally, rather than take away food, like to add in a bit more cardio to try and get a little bit leaner myself. So full transparency, I'm not this guy's coach, I'm not his trainer or anything like that. I'm just gonna answer the question as far as like what I would do if I was in his position. So my recommendation, if you're like curious whether you should cut, bulk, or maintain, if you have to ask yourself that question, I would personally cut. I would personally get down to your ideal level of leanness and then maintain from there. You can still add on to weight and continue to maintain. It's about maintaining the same body fat percentage. So if you can maintain, let's say 10% body fat at 165 pounds, if you get down there, and build that same 10% up to 172 pounds, you're gonna have a lot more lean muscle tissue while still being that same body fat percentage. So that's what you call body recomposition. So if you have to ask yourself the question if you should cut, bulk, or maintain, first cut down to your ideal level of leanness, and then from there build muscle over time. 2,300 calories for someone that's 6'2", it's honestly pretty low. I personally can cut on 26 to 2,800 calories, so wherever your cardio is right now, try doing a little bit more of that. Keep your calories where they are at, and do so in a way that's healthy. Start noticing that your sleep sucks, you have no energy, you can't progressive overload in the gym, your sex drive is horrible, all the ramifications of being just too lean, and that's an indication to either cut back on the cardio and start adding more calories, or both. Personally, I always recommend to get as lean as you are comfortable with, and then from there build muscle. Main gaining meaning you could stay the same weight and continue to add on more lean muscle tissue, or you could stay the same body fat percentage and add on weight over time. That's what you call body recomposition. So for me personally, right now, I feel really good. I feel really, really good between 170 to 175 pounds right now. I plan on basically maintaining that through summer while focusing on adding more lean muscle tissue. And maybe towards the end of summer, be around 175 to 180 pounds. And then right before I start my overall cut for my show, if I can be around 180 to 185 pounds, somewhere in that 10 to 12% body fat range, that is ideal for me. But for me, understanding that part about myself and understanding what weight I like to be at and what body fat I can function at just comes from like years of experience and doing this long enough to figure it out. You have to experiment, you have to try new things, you have to see how lean that you can get where you still feel good, and kind of play around with those different factors, whether it's cutting calories or adding more cardio. Everyone's different. Some people personally like not doing more cardio and they like cutting their calories. I'm the opposite. I actually like keeping my calories where they're at and actually doing more activity to create that calorie deficit. So do whatever you feel more comfortable with. Hope that answered your question in some way, shape, or form. If it didn't, you want to have a follow-up question on another breakfast clip, leave it in the comments down below. For those of you that have any questions whatsoever, DM them to me on Instagram at Joseph_Garcia17 or leave them in the comment section down below to be featured in the next Breakfast Club video. But more importantly, give that French toast a shot. I am wrapping the video up here. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. It's been your boy Joe. Peace.